Donald Trump has made tariffs one of the cornerstones of his campaign. And over the weekend, he claimed, without providing any evidence, that tariffs would not impact American taxpayers.
We're going to be a tariff nation. It's not going to be a cost to you. It's going to be a cost to another country. I heard Kamala the other day, Comrade Kamala. She said, oh, if you do that, he's raising your taxes. No, no, no. I'm not raising your taxes. I'm raising China and all of these countries in Asia and all over the world, including the European Union, by the way, which is one of the most egregious.
That's just a lie. And he knows it's a lie. And everybody that is a host on other networks that will lie about his lies, they know it's a lie.
That's the part I don't get.
Tariffs are taxes on middle-class Americans, on working-class Americans especially. They feel the disproportionate impact, but it impacts all Americans. The Wall Street Journal editorial page. It's called Donald Trump's Tariffs, the Largest Taxes in the 2024 Campaign. Now, I understand people that go to his rallies may not have gotten economics degrees, and maybe they don't read the Wall Street Journal. Maybe they don't read the Financial Times. But the hosts of other shows who continue to lie for Donald Trump, I don't know why they lie for Donald Trump, but they continue to lie for Donald Trump. They know that tariffs are taxes on consumers. They are taxes on middle-class Americans. Anyway, I gotta say,
depend on him winning.
On him winning, yeah. Well, I guess say one other thing. That's a sad job to have, because I really, I'm not on any president's Christmas card lists because, you say what you say. I can say one other thing. There's this thing, J.D. Vance and other people on other networks that are running resistance for Donald Trump. They keep talking about foreign workers versus native workers. It's kind of crazy. Like,
that is
foreign workers. They make it sound like it's like somebody that's coming in illegally, and those are the only, quote, foreign workers. Actually, foreign workers, as defined by the Bureau of Labor Statistics, that's anybody that was not born here.
Oh, so then that
anybody
would be
Melania Trump, for one.
Yeah.
It would also be if let's bring in Andrew Ross Sorkin here.
Foreign workers.
There would also be these other foreign workers. Would also be the CEO of IBM.
Oh, wow.
The CEO of Google.
My goodness.
The CEO of Microsoft, foreign worker.
Yep.
The CEO, here's some of my favorites, of Tesla, SpaceX, and X, formerly Twitter. The CEO of NVIDIA, the CEO of Salesforce, the CEO of Goldman Sachs, the CEO of Oracle. And no, Andrew, I'm not talking about the founders, because those are just the CEOs today.
Right.
Founders who are, quote, foreign-born, the founders of Google, the founders of eBay,
So why are we
the
saying
founders
this?
of Uber, again, the founders of Tesla and SpaceX, the founders of Yahoo, the co-founder of Oracle, the founder of Zoom. And this goes way back in American history. You see, this is the thing that this isolationist nonsense does. Andrew Carnegie, an immigrant, one of the greatest industrialists in history, an immigrant. The founders of Procter & Gamble, immigrants. Andrew, I could go on and on. It's just such absolute nonsense. Andrew, you don't know this, but while you're doing your show, we regularly play Ronald Reagan's farewell speech where he talked about this, where he talked about the greatness of America. It's re-energized by immigrants. And yet, J.D. Vance and Donald Trump's cheering section on other networks constantly trying to make all Americans think that anybody that works in America that wasn't born here is somehow a detriment to America.
Yeah.
It just couldn't be more wrong.
It's a fallacy. It's false. And you look at the leaders of corporate America today, and as you said, they are so many of them immigrants. We've talked a long time about trying to staple a green card to a college diploma here in the United States. You know, could you actually get that to pass so that you could bring some of the smartest minds in the world? That's what's made America. That's what's made American business for so long. But if I could just speak to the tariff issue for a second, for those who don't either understand it or whatnot. If you're going to walk into a Walmart in the future or a Target or maybe a restaurant, we've been talking about inflation for a long time, just how high prices have gone. When you put a tariff on a product, it is not that the other country gets taxed per se. It's that the cost gets pushed on to the consumer here in the United States. That's how it works. That is the economics of it. When people ask, what's the math? They say, oh, we're getting taxed. How are we getting taxed? I don't understand. It means that you're going to walk into Walmart, you're going to look at the product, and the price tag for the product that you want is going to cost more, not less. That's it.
Yeah.
It's that simple. And how former President Trump can speak the way he does about what he thinks the tariff is going to do, the idea that it's going to tax the Chinese or it's going to tax, it's just not the reality of the situation. And anybody who is even half sentient, I think, understands this to some degree. And so it's baffling to me that we're even having this conversation, but we continue to have it because there are so many others, as you described, on other networks and other places that seem to misdescribe it. And I think, unfortunately, they do it knowingly. I think they knowingly misdescribe it.
Well, and that's some CEOs that are Wall Street types, not a ton, but some who are supporting Donald Trump know it too.
Yeah,
they know it. They know that his tariffs plan is bad for America. They know this nonsense about, quote, foreign-born workers. They know it's a lie because chances are good if they're wealthy and they started a business, they have a foreign-born worker running their company. I mentioned it. It's not just tech. It's not just, it's also Coca-Cola. It's also Pepsi-Cola.
Right.
I could go down the list. Foreign-born workers, these rich CEOs, some of whom were supporting Donald Trump, they hire immigrants to run their companies. Right. So it's complete nonsense.
One other point, if you'd indulge me on this tariff back and forth, which is we keep talking about the middle class and how the middle class in America is going to be taxed. They're going to be taxed actually in a different way as well, which is to say I actually got an email from a farmer who was describing to me actually how hard it was during the Trump administration when it comes to some kinds of farming agricultural exports. So one of the things that people don't appreciate is the second you get into a tariff war, it's not just that the costs of goods become more expensive and reinflate all of the things we've been praying could come down in price. It's that folks who, in the United States, middle-class farmers and other workers who export goods to other countries, you don't think that those other countries are going to say, well, actually, now that's going to cost you more on the other end. So it's a double whammy. And it's something that I think is just grossly misappreciated and grossly misconstrued and grossly misdescribed by so many who have been supporting former President Trump on this particular point.